Are you eager to get unstuck and figure out what you would actually like to do with your career next? Have you been going around in circles trying to figure it out but getting no further forward? If so, you're going to love today's sponsor, my signature group program, the Career Clarity Academy. Changing career direction can feel overwhelming and daunting, but it doesn't have to be. In my signature program, we give you clear, step-by-step, proven processes for getting completely clear on what it is that you want to do and understanding how you can leverage your existing experience and position yourself to attract and land a dream role. To find out more, head over to lightboxcoaching.com/academy. Hello, you're listening to the Career Changemaker podcast. Having the courage to leave a career that you have worked hard to build and try something else can be tough. So in each episode, we dive into key career change strategies so that you have a clear understanding of what is required to transition into a new role or a new industry without feeling like you have to start at the bottom or have to take a massive pay cut, because #ain't nobody got time for that. If you are ready for frank and honest discussions about how to become a career change maker, keep listening. I'm your host, lawyer turned career strategist and executive coach, Janine Esbrand. I wanted to jump on and talk about this topic because it comes up a lot, like in conversations that I have with people around changing their careers. And when I speak to people, everybody has the intention, right? And oftentimes they've had the intention for a while. So when I say a while, I mean years, not months, where they've been saying, I've been feeling this way for years. I've been feeling like what I'm doing right now is not what I really want to do. So perhaps the organization is fantastic and the team that I work with is brilliant. It's a great environment that I'm in, but there's just something about the role that just isn't fitting anymore. There's just something about what I'm having to show up and do on a day-to-day basis that makes me feel like I'm not in the right place. There's a misalignment between the work that I'm doing and what I feel like I want to be doing each and every day. And so when I'm speaking to people, they're saying like, I want to make a career change. I've been wanting to make a career change for a very long time, but I just haven't done it yet. So what I wanted to really touch on now was, what is the difference between the intention and the action? Like, where is the missing link? Because lots of people have the intention, but not everybody takes action. And I'm 100% an action taker. So I'm the type of person who, if I decide that I want to do something, I'm all about making it happen. So I'll be like, right, this is what I want to do. Figure out the plan. What's the timeline? Where when are we starting? And if I'm in a meeting situation and we've got a group of people that are working towards a particular goal, I'm always the one who's like, okay, so what are we going to do then? When are we taking action? What's the next step? And so I'm very much like that when it comes to working with clients and talking to potential clients. I'm like, okay, so that's what you say you want. So let's start putting the action plan in place. Because that's the way my brain works. It's like, if that's the goal, then we need to work out how we get there. But I recognize that that isn't how everybody approaches things, right? Some people take a little bit more time. They're really considered in their approach. They want to really think about it and consider all the different angles before they then take action. But what I've realized is sometimes the action piece doesn't come for people. So even if they're not someone like me who's straight okay, I need to have a plan in place right now. I know where I want to get to, so let me get there. Even if there's someone who needs to take more time, there's still the circumstances where people need to take more time, but then they just keep taking more time. And then a year goes past and 2 years goes past and a long time goes past, and they're still in the same position where they're saying, same old. Like, I reached out to someone the other day and their response was, I was like, how are things going? And they said, same old, which means that they haven't moved forward from where they were when we spoke months ago, because they're just there, right? So what I wanted to talk about is what is the reason for that? Because many times when you ask people, it's why is it that you haven't taken action towards the goal that you said you want, right? You said that you want to do this. Why is it you're not taking action? There's various reasons that people will give. So it will be things like, I'm just too busy. Work's been crazy. I've been in the middle of lockdown and I'm having to homeschool and do all these different things. So it's super busy. Totally understandable. It is a busy time. Or it might be that I don't know where to start. Like, it just feels so overwhelming. I have no idea where I would start. I don't know what to do. Another thing that I've heard is like, I've tried to kind of put myself out there, but I've had a negative experience. Like, maybe I spoke to a recruiter who wasn't very encouraging. Maybe I've spoken to family members or friends who have kind of encouraged me to stay where I am because I'm in a good position. And so why would I rock the boat? There's all of these reasons that come up, and those are reasons. And for many people, those are valid reasons. They're reasons that they give, and they're reasons that they hold on to for why they don't move forward. But my question is that whole reason? Because many times the first reason that we give is a reason, but there's often a reason behind the reason. So like, when you dig a bit deeper and when you sit with it and you really ask yourself, like, is that really the reason why I'm held back? It comes down to fear. Like, there's the fear that holds people back comes in many different forms, but oftentimes you don't always see it as that. So when you look at the circumstances, when you look at your circumstances, it does look like, yeah, I am actually too busy. There's a lot going on, or this just isn't the right timing, or I really don't know what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. But the question is, what do you do to move yourself from where you are saying, oh, I can't do it, to how do I make it happen? And when you ask yourself, what's really holding me back? Often it is the fear. It's either the fear of failing, it's the fear of making the wrong decision. Like, it's the fear of saying, okay, I'm going to move out of what it is that I've been doing and I'm going to decide to move into something else. But what if that isn't the right thing either? I don't want to then leave the job that I'm secure in to move into a new job and not even be fully sure that that is the right place for me to be. So there's the fear of not making the right decision. There's the fear of rejection. So like, I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to have to start applying for roles, and I don't want to start getting rejections left, right, and center, because that's not going to make me feel good. So instead of me doing that, I'm just going to stay where I am, where it's safe and where it's comfortable, even though it's not comfortable in some respects, because I know I don't want to be here, and I know that I'm frustrated, and I know that I feel like I'm just showing up day after day, just Groundhog Day, just doing the same thing but not feeling happy. Even though I feel that that is the case, I don't feel like I can push past the fear, or I haven't really fully acknowledged that fear is the thing that's holding me back. Right? So if you have been saying to yourself for a long time that I want to make a change, but yet all of these different circumstances are coming up and you can't seem to push past the circumstance, ask yourself, is it really the circumstance that's holding me back, or is it the fear that comes with saying, I'm going to step outside of my comfort zone right now and I'm going to attempt to do something completely different? Or I'm going to walk away from all that I know to be normal and I'm going to attempt to do something different. Because if it's the fear that's holding you back, then it makes sense why you'll be in the same position for months upon months and then years upon years, right? So I just want to challenge you to really think about things in a different way, because if we can't push past the fear, then really all we have is an intention. We have an intention to make a change, but then it doesn't actually ever happen. And then if it doesn't actually ever happen, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for you? Are you happy to just continue feeling the same way that you feel now and the same way that you've been feeling for months in the next, in the next years to come? If you're feeling frustrated every day, or if you're feeling unfulfilled, or if you're feeling like that there's more that you can give, there's more impacts that you can be making in the world, if that's how you're feeling now, is that going to change down the road? So if you continue to push it off and say, like, I can't make it happen right now, is the way that you're feeling right now going to change? Is my question. And if it's not, then what is the opportunity cost for you? Because whatever decision you make, there's an opportunity cost. So if you decide that I'm just going to stay where I am, I'm just going to stay where it's comfortable, the opportunity cost for you is that you don't get the opportunity to show up and work in an environment where you feel like you're thriving and do work that you absolutely enjoy and impact people in the way that you could impact people. So if you don't make the decision to push past the fear, then you don't give yourself the opportunity to actually get to the place where you're enjoying and loving the work that you do, right? And then the other thing that comes up for people as well is like, I can't afford to take a pay cut, for example. So if I've been working in this role for a while. I'm the main breadwinner in my family. I'm at a certain level in terms of my salary, and so I can't afford to take a pay cut. But the question is, does making a career change definitely have to equate to taking a pay cut? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So instead of just saying, oh, I can't do it because I can't take a pay cut, the question is, how could I make the move without taking a pay cut? So not, I can't do it because I don't want to take a pay cut, because we haven't really taken any action to explore whether or not that is going to be the case. So instead of saying, I can't do it because I can't take a pay cut, what we want to be saying is, how can I do it so that I don't have to take a pay cut? So it comes up a lot, like, if someone is saying, okay, I don't know what the steps are, I don't even know where to start with making a career change. It's like, okay, well, if you don't know what the steps are and you don't know where to start, then this is a great opportunity for you to get support, for you to either work with a career coach, or for you to get a mentor, or you to take a course, or whatever it is that you need to do to get the how, to understand what the steps are, what's required for you to actually make the move. So then it's like, okay, well, I don't know what to do. So then you can get support for that. And then the next thing that comes up for people is, well, I am not able to invest in that right now, or I can't meet that cost right now. It's going to be too expensive, or it's not in the budget. So when people say that, I also want to ask the question, like, can you afford not to, though? Because if you're in a position where you're saying, I really want to make a move, but I don't know what to do, but you have to invest to get the support that you need, but then you're not willing to invest, then you're not going to get to where it is that you want to get to. So imagine if you was to invest in the support that you need, that is going to show you the steps that are required in order for you to get to where you want to get to, and also teach you what it is you need to be able to do so that you can negotiate your salary, so that you're able to articulate your value in a way where you don't have to start at the bottom and take a pay cut, so that you know exactly what you need to say when an offer is placed on the table, so that you don't end up getting paid less than you get paid now. So then instead of saying, okay, I can't afford to invest in the program, it's thinking, well, what if I was to invest in a program? What if I was to get a coach to support me? And in doing so, I learned everything that I needed to know in order for me to make the transition and be able to land a new role, doing something that I really enjoy and getting paid the amount of money that I need to get paid. Right? So it all comes down to a shift in mindset. So if we're just jumping into things and saying, okay, I have this intention, but I can't take the action for this reason, this reason, this reason, I want to encourage you to really look at what is the reason for not taking the action, and how could I look at that differently? I say to my clients all the time, whenever you want to approach something and say, I can't do something, I encourage you to replace that I can't do it with how could I do it? Because when you're saying I can't do it, like, your brain's just shutting down all of the possibilities. It's like, yeah, I can't do it. I'm not going to be able to do that. Okay. But as soon as you say, how could I make that happen? Then the possibilities and the different options are more likely to come to mind. Right? So I would encourage you to shift away from just being like, right, I can't do it, I'm just going to have to stay where I am, and I'm just going to have to live with it. I've got a job, I should be grateful for that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't be grateful for the opportunities that you currently have. But what I am saying is there's so much opportunity out there for you to be able to be doing work that is aligned with what it is that you want to do. Like, I honestly think that life is too short to just be showing up to work every day and just doing work for the sake of doing work. And there's an environment, there are clients, there are people, there's a team that you could be working in that is fully aligned with who you are as a person, how you want to show up, and the impact that you want to make in the world. But if you're staying where you are and feeling frustrated, you're never going to get to the place where you see that, or that's available for you. And so I am so passionate about helping people to get into work that is aligned with them as a person, and work that they love, and a place where they can make impact. That I just wanted to share that perspective with you, because I know that it's easy to just brush it off and say, yeah, I can't do it right now. It's not good timing. It's middle of a pandemic. I can't move. It's, I'm too busy. There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. There absolutely is. But there'll still be a lot going on in 3 months' time, and in 6 months' time, and in 12 months' time. So the question is, where do you want to be in that time? where do you want to be in that time? And if it is that, do you know what, I really do want to make a move and I want to figure out what that is, then I encourage you to take some action. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of action, but it needs to be some action, so that if I check in with you in like a few months' time, I don't want you to be saying, yeah, I'm just in the same position. I'm frustrated, I want to move, but I haven't taken any action towards making that movement. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Career Changemaker podcast. If you have enjoyed what you've heard today, then head over to iTunes or wherever it is that you listen to podcasts and leave us a rating and review. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can hear when the next episode goes live. And if you like hanging out on Instagram, then I would love for you to tag me and let me know what you really thought about the episode over there at Career Changemaker. Until next time, keep working towards your career goals and we will speak very, very soon.